is there any way that he is special enough to walk up and pull that ice, that dragon glass out of him? And
hey, you never know. We talked about that the other night. I was just sitting there thinking, well, you know, what if, you know, Dragonfire can kill White Walkers, and we're assuming it can, like wildfire, Dragonfire, it's got magical properties.
Yeah, we assume it can. Yeah,
it's not regular fire. Where
we saw when you showed me Hardhome, he walked in that regular fire.
Yeah, and just like you saw when they attacked the cave at Bloodraven's place, right?
Yeah,
you know, they walk the
that's
fire.
right.
Their mist just kind of puts the fire to the side. So regular fire, no effect. Whites are obviously affected by that, but so we all assume because of Valyrian steel works, because Dragonglass works, that Dragonfire will work the same way. It's different. It's magical, and since there's magical properties to wildfire, and Bran saw that vision, he was seeing the tools he needs to let Jon know what, you know, to fight this battle. So I think that probably works. But what I was speculating and just thinking about is, what if the Night King can't be killed that way, and you have to remove the dragon glass in his chest?
That is the cycle.
And to end the whole thing, you know, because otherwise, you know, now I'm not saying that was just speculation, because you see that, you know, otherwise why show us a specific way of him being created? You know, they could have just touched him in some way or said some words, but they specifically chose to take something of fire, which is dragonglass associated with volcanic activity, etc.
Yeah.
And shove it in his heart, which I think therefore creates his weakness to it in all things fire related. So therefore, what if he can only be killed by somebody that has to pull that thing out physically?
Yeah.
And what if for some reason it takes a, you know, again, you could also say, well, that could be anybody that gets close enough. But what if he's got some kind of ability to get close enough physically to resist him or whatever to pull that thing out? In other words, could another Targaryen do it, and it be anybody? Like, could Dany walk up and yank it out? You know, if she got him on the ground physically or whatever. But what if he's got some ice immunity because of his Stark blood to resist whatever he's trying to do back? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
I know that's kind of wild and crazy, but it was just some speculation based off, you know, if you kill the leader, somehow does the rest of them fall? You know what I mean? You know, like the head of the snake, right?
When we were talking the other day about that, I said, what if they figure out what it is that they're after, or what's got them riled up? And they bait them, remember? And I said they have a moat of wildfire around them, and Jon has to sacrifice himself, say, light it, I'm not going to come out of this.
Right.
I'm not going to come out, but I'm going to get him alone.
It very well could be.
Get this.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Night King knows something about Jon. And you saw it with Bloodraven. He came into Bloodraven's cave, and he's like, I finally got you, motherfucker.
Yeah, that look.
You know, that look, he knew him, he smirked, he sat there and stared at him like, you know, you finally got him after all these years. And then Hardhome on the show, now Jon didn't go to Hardhome in the books, but in the show, this stare down was like, you know, like, I know you're familiar to me, you know, we're related possibly, whatever it is, you know, we share the same blood, so he knew something was up. That stare down wasn't just for dramatic effect, because that could have been, you know, Tormund staring back at him, or, you know, Jon was injured perhaps, and, you know, Dolores Ed, but it had to be Jon, so he knew something about Jon, and he saw him kill the White Walker with the Valyrian steel sword.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes back to, what are they reacting to? Are they after him?
Put yourself in the Night King's shoes. You didn't ask to be that.
That's right.
You know what
that's
I mean?
Right. And that goes into, you know, the whole, you know, speculation talk and theory crafting about maybe they're not the bad guys, because George R. R. Martin has said over and over, this is not about the classic fantasy, you know, genre of good versus evil. Fight to the death and the good guys win, everybody lives happily ever after. He breaks all those tropes. The speculation is, since we haven't had a POV chapter in the books from the White Walker side of the world as far as their perspective,
there's a chance they could be a sympathetic figure.
Yeah, you have to kind of, you have to look at that in a way and say, you know what, they didn't ask to be created. They didn't ask to become war machines. They were just people.
Right.
And so there's definitely an aspect of that. But when you see them created out of vengeance, I think that's what George R. R. Martin is trying to portray.
Yeah.
Is this race was created out of vengeance, out of hate.
Yeah.
Therefore, they became rogue nuclear, you know, WMDs or whatever you want to call it. But again, the dragons can be seen the same way.